As the fish move into a little deeper water and you're catching them on a sinking worm, what should you do? Whoa! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. March 31. March 31. You know, March is supposed to come in like a lion with the wind blowing like crazy and go out like a lamb, peacefully and calm water, beautiful days. Well, we've got the wind blowing today. It seems like it's backing off a little bit, but it's March 31. The wind's blowing pretty doggone good right now. We got so many storms been running around all over the South the last week or 10 days that it seemed like that the wind has just been a fixture, and yet March is supposed to go out like a lamb, and it might before the day's over. Before we get into today's scripture and devotional, be sure, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe to the Catch of the Day channel. We've got about 12,000 people on the Catch of the Day channel right now. It's a very, very popular channel and absolutely the most important channel on YouTube. If you subscribe to this, give it a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, check it out. We post a video every single day with a fishing tip, a scripture, and a devotion for every single day. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell. It'll tell you when we post a video. We're going to post one every day. We post at 5 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be looking at the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah. If you're not pretty familiar with the Bible, we might not even know there was a book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah 2:20. This is a great one. This is a great one because this is what everybody wants. The God of heaven will give us success. That's right. We want success in everything we do. And I'm not just talking about, making money. We want success with our family. We want success in our relationships with our kids, our friends, our next door neighbors. We want success down at the office where we're working. We want success out on the job with our coworkers. We want success in our health. We want success just going out fishing when we're out having a great time fishing. The God of heaven will give us success. That pretty much sums it up right there. How do we get success in all those things we're talking about? Through God, through God. Here's what I wrote about this. About the easiest way to catch any species of fish is with live bait. The really successful guides in Florida use live bait to produce those giant Florida bass for their clients. They use big shiners, about this long. Under bobbers, as a matter of fact. Live bait, listen to this, live bait is so effective, it's not even legal in bass tournaments. That's right, we can't use live bait in bass tournaments. The way to success with your family, with your job, or anything else is with the living God. You need God in your life in order to be successful. He's been at the core of everything good that we've ever done in our life. Whatever success we've had in our family, in the fishing world, or in business has come from God. Yeah, there's been struggles and trials, but through my darkest moment, God was not walking with me, He was carrying me, absolutely carrying me. What a blessing it is to live every single day in God's arms. I could tell you story after story after story where we have just been absolutely crushed in the business world, where we've had situations where through no fault of our own, we've basically lost all the money we've had, through governmental action or stealing employees or whatever, and been just 100% broke and saw no way out of even keeping the business going. But through it all, we trusted God, and through it all, God was carrying us right there in His big arms. And somehow, and we can't even look back and see how it happened, somehow we made it. And we made it, and things turned out as time went by. It didn't happen overnight. As time went by, we look back on that period of time when we were absolutely 100% totally broke, and we're better off than we were before we had that catastrophe happen to us. The circumstances can wreck and ruin your life. They do. They do it to a lot of people. And in the business world, there's so many things that can happen that's totally beyond your control, you have nothing to do with, that can take you from being on the mountain to being down in the valley. In fact, you're like 6 foot under down in the valley. You seem sometimes, yet you're still breathing. But God is still with you, just like He was when He put you on that mountain in the first place. So when you're down in the valley, God's going to be with you. He's going to raise you out of that valley. Might not happen overnight, but if you trust God, if you honor Him, you put Him first in your life, without a doubt, He's going to bring you out of that valley. He's going to carry you right up, not just to that mountaintop, but to a mountain that's much, much higher and much, much better. That's the God that I serve. Here's our tip for today. Try a small slip sinker on a sinking worm if you want to fish it a little bit deeper. I'm talking about a small slip sinker. Now, maybe like a 64th ounce. You can sometimes even use a little split shot. Let me tell you something else that we do sometime, especially if we're fishing around places where there's a lot of sediment or there's a lot of grass in the water, is we'll take and move up about 6 or 8 or 10 inches or a foot in front of a sinking worm, which is just a weightless hook, and we'll put a little split shot or something on there. You sort of created a little baby Carolina rig, but this will, your weight up here will get down in the silt and the moss, and it'll let that sinking worm settle up above that. And a lot of times that's just that little trick of putting that little split shot 8 or 10 or 12 or 15 inches or so up in front of that worm. That little trick sometime will turn a bad day into a great day fishing. Guys and girls, go out there and have a fantastic day today. Remember, I sure do love you.